this is Casey at BB Dolls. Today I'm making my regular video of what am I working on, and I thought we could put together my newest Blythe doll because she's finished. But before we do that, I wanted to show you something else I finished that I talked about in my last video. So I have finished my very first Monster High repaint. I was very nervous when I first started working on her because it turns out it was very different than painting a Blythe doll. The material is different. The Monster High dolls are vinyl and Blythe dolls are like a hard plastic. So I think a lot of the issue was the difference in material. I noticed that on the Blythe dolls it was very easy to remove any mistakes, and it was not the case with the Monster High dolls. So the very first attempt that I made I did not like, and so I had to sand off everything I had done and start again, which was frustrating. And I always see other customizers using acetone or nail polish remover to remove the paint, but that never seems to work for me on these dolls. I tried it on the factory paint on the Monster High doll, but it did not work, so I had to sand it off, which just took a lot longer. But I am really happy with how she looks. After I kept going and I kept working on layering the colors, that was the other thing. It took a lot more layering of the colors, so I would paint her or draw, and then I would spray, and then draw again, and then spray, and then draw again. So I don't usually have to do that many layers on a Blythe doll, but I did on her. So there was that. So I might actually make a video of customizing a Monster High doll next. I'm not sure if anyone watching my channel would be into that, but I think there were a lot of things that I would have liked to know that I didn't want to have to pay to learn on other channels. So anyway, if you're interested in that, let me know. Otherwise, she's finished. I'm going to take some photos possibly of her today so you can see her a little bit better, because we're getting a little bit of light, but I see the clouds coming and it's probably going to get dark again in here. So I need to make my videos pretty quickly. So this is my newest Blythe doll, and I have all her parts sitting here ready to be put back together. So let's do that together. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put the eyes back into the eyelids, and I painted her theme as kind of this color because her hair, I think I showed you, I don't know if I showed you in the last video, but her hair, when I bought her, I thought her hair was brown, but when I got it, when you look in the light, it's actually brown and red streaks. So it's really pretty, it's really silky. So I painted her eyelids kind of a matching tone with little hearts. And so first we have to put the eyes back in here, and the easiest way to do that is on your eye mechanism. You have one side is a little bit longer than the other side, so you want to put the longer side in first, because then when you do the other side you just have to push it up and pop it over. So when you do this, you do want to make sure you have your eyes going in the direction that you want them in, meaning if you're using, for example, a pair of our eye chips, the darker part of the eye chip should be at the top and the lighter at the bottom. Of course, it's up to you how you want to put them in, but that's how I do it. So then this little piece that you took off when you took her apart goes back on here, and now they're in. So the next part is to put them back into the face plate, but before we do that, usually I put the first string in because it's a little bit easier when the doll is not put together. So you're going to need a thinner, I have this that I use and it has thicker and thinner, and I haven't found this type of cord in pretty colors, but I use it because it's just the easiest for this part of the doll, and then I have some colors for the other string that you can use a thicker string. Because the space of this string area is so much smaller, it's easier to use a thinner string. So then you want to cut it off, and then I didn't get my lighter. You want to use a lighter to burn the end of the string, and I always burn the knot a little bit because it's plastic, and if you do it too much like I just did, then you want to tie it again. Just want to burn it just a little bit so that the plastic melts in the knot, and that way the knot won't come out. Then you're going to thread your other side, and you might burn the other side just a bit so that it's a little stiff. You're going to go through the left side to the right side, and sometimes you have to get really close to it. And if your thread or your cord is not stiff enough, which it's not, you can burn a little bit down, and this will stiffen it so that it will go through more easily. This is definitely an annoying part, but then once you get it through, you pull it through and the knot kind of goes down in there. You kind of push it in. Okay, so once that is done, then you can put your eye mechanism back into the doll. And you want to be careful if you painted the eyelids not to scrape them too much. So there's her eyelids. And now we have to do the T-bar, and I'm not positive this is the right T-bar, so I need to get on there. I think that it is. So with the T-bar, you want to trim it off. I think this one might have already been trimmed, so we're going to trim it very slowly so that you don't trim it too much. And then put your little screw in there. Now this is just a testing phase, so you're just gonna put it on. And then turn your eyes and make sure that they turn the way that you want. So I did forget one part, and that is trimming the inside in here so that the eyelids go back farther. So what you're gonna do, and this is actually easier to do when the eye mechanism is out, so we're gonna take it back out. Our T-bar is fine, so we're just gonna set it aside. And the tool I use to take out the eyes, I think is this one. I don't know if I showed it in another video, but it pries it right out, just like that. So now, to make it so that the eyelids can go back farther and open the eyes wider, you're going to trim off a little bit of this. So we're going to put it back in. And then when you pull the eyelids back, you can see that they open very wide. So that's how we want that. And now you're going to choose a string, and I'm going to use this hot pink for the sleep eyes, which I do have a video showing you how to do this, so check out that one. if you want more detail. So I'm going to tie a knot, burn it. That one doesn't seem to matter which side you do it on, so that's that. And we're going to put our T-bar back on. You don't want to over tighten it, just nice and firm. Okay, and then we have our body. I've already put little rubber bands around the neck. The reason for that is if you don't, your head might be a little bit too floppy. And the rubber bands that I use come from the hair department. They're little clear rubber bands. You can get them in the hairstyling department of most stores like Walmart or Target. I think I got mine at Target. So now we're going to put her together. Now we need to put the scalp on, and that requires this screw. So the easiest way I've found to do it is to actually put the screw into the faceplate and screw it in just a little bit. Like that, and then when you put it on, it just slides right over. I'm gonna line everything up right like that, and then you can just reach right in there and screw it down the rest of the way. Now your strings have to go out the back plate. There is a hole here where the original string was, and it's coated, but both strings will not fit through there, so I usually just choose probably the smaller one to go through there, and then the larger one can go through one of these square holes. One of the reasons to use this plastic coated cord is because over time of pulling on the strings, especially the one through here, it can wear it down. So if you're using ribbon, you might want to somehow reinforce the ribbon with glue or something, or you'll be changing your strings, which is not a big deal, but you know, if you're selling them, you might want to let your customer know. So now we're going to put the back plate on. And at the same time, you have to line up your parts on the inside, but we also have to put the body on. So the body goes right down in there, and it's going to close around the part where you have the rubber band. So you got to line everything up perfectly as you squeeze, and then hope it goes together. And at this point, sometimes you have to squeeze pretty hard to get those gaps out of there. But you should hear a snap. And she's together. So, I don't have hands on her because I took this body from a different doll. So the first thing that I would do when I get a doll together is make sure the eyes work. So your string to change is going to be the smaller one, and your string to open will be the pink one. So I will go through each eye set and maybe decide. I'm not sure if I like those eyes. I don't know that I'm going to leave them, but I'll check to make sure they all open correctly, and they do, so that's great. So this doll is now put together, and I will be choosing an outfit for her and getting some photos of her done in the next couple days, and then she will be available. Oh, the other thing is on her back plate, you will of course want to put your screws back in, so let's do that really quickly. And while I'm doing that, I will say thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to see all new videos. And I am going to also, the other thing I'm working on right now, which as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go record more of the carving video I'm working on. It is a detailed carving video that's going to be for sale along with a booklet tutorial. So that is coming up, as long as I can continue having some daylight and some good light to carve in. So anyway, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like BB Blythe Co. on Facebook if you're interested in Blythe. And today I don't really have anything on the BB baby sides of things to talk about, but I do have a new project coming on that side that I will share with you soon. So I will see you all very soon, and thanks for watching.